All right, let's do this. Motivation, midweek motivation. How's everyone doing? All right, wanted to talk a little bit about how we as entrepreneurs, we just overthink things quite a lot. And it gets in the way, man. It just gets in the way. We want to do so much, and especially coming from you know, a job where an expert, you're an expert professional, and you just want things to be done so right because your reputation depends on it and all this stuff. And I remember I was working with my commercial real estate mentor, Fred. He was a great mentor. And one thing that he told me was you think too much, think less, or don't think. Just do it. Just do this stuff. Because what happened was I would start thinking of the strategies that were the best ones to utilize, and it would really get in the way of just taking action. And I didn't want that. He told me that it will take probably about 2 years in order to build up the steady stream of business that I want. When I first heard that, that was kind of frustrating. I wanted the money faster. I wanted the activity to be done faster. And that's not something that any of us really want to hear. Like who wants to hear, hey, um, who wants to hear like you can do the business, but it's going to take you 2 years. A lot of us don't have that kind of patience to just say, you know what, I have all these amazing ideas, but it's going to take you 2 years. And if we're going to really respect our mortality and like do the best job that we can, we have to get to a place where we're actually taking action. And so he told me, hey, you're smart, you know what you're doing, but you need to think less and just do. I remember doing some canvassing, going around to different business owners, and it was I was very nervous with doing that because I thought about all of the things that could go wrong. Because a lot of things can go wrong. Maybe I'll say the wrong thing. So, in order for me to reduce my fear, I thought, hey, let me reduce the fear by preparing more. And I ended up over preparing. I would create these presentations, I would like these pamphlets and all this stuff just so that I can make sure that whatever questions that I imagine that the business owners would have, I would create just in case. And that made me feel a little bit more comfortable. What I was doing was I was basically saying no for of my on behalf of the clients that I was talking to. Hey Marimo. So And he said, don't do that. My mentor said, don't say no to someone that hasn't even heard what you want to say yet. Say the thing first. Hey Grace, say the thing first and let it be. Just keep taking action. Stop thinking. Sometimes you're too smart for your own good and you get in the way and you end up saying no way too prematurely. And it's a crutch. It was a crutch. I realized it was a crutch for me to utilize all of these potential strategies and ways for me to kind of feel a little bit more comfortable. I just want to ask, has anyone else dealt with that where you really could have taken the action, but instead of taking the action, you end up doing a whole bunch of stuff just in case the lead or someone that you're talking to ends up saying something that you don't want to hear. Basically, you're saying no to yourself before giving the client or the lead the opportunity to say no. Man, that put me back a lot. And I realized that it was a very it's a very easy thing to say, but in actuality, it's a it's it's kind of tough to fix because for me, I wasn't. First of all, I see a few people joining. We're just talking about the fear of rejection when you're dealing with business. Hey, Deluxo, um, when you're dealing with business and end up where you end up doing a whole bunch of stuff. For me, what I ended up doing was trying my best to think about the potential reasons why they might say no. And in my mind, this made a lot of sense. Think of all the potential reasons why someone might say no, and then I just create a whole bunch of strategies and um, create a whole bunch of pamphlets and designs and funnels, and I just overbuilt way too much. In the meantime, while I'm thinking about all the different things that the people, my audience, wants to hear, I could have just talked to my audience, which is why I'm here now. I want to talk to my audience a lot more and get out of my head. And I'm encouraging all of you who have so many amazing things that are just locked up in your head somewhere deep, and you're afraid to let it out because the fear of the unknown. You just don't know. Maybe you'll fail. Maybe it won't resonate. Maybe at some point you just have to say, "Who cares? Who cares? If it's not, if it's not for them, it's not for them. But if it is for you, share it. If it is for you, come back. If it is for you, react to it. You know, you're not for everybody. Not everyone is going to say, yeah, I like what he's saying. I like the way that he's talking. I like the way that she presents herself. You're really not for everyone. And I had to recognize I am not for everybody and just be okay with that. Take it or leave it. And that allows me to just think less and do more. There's two one of the things that I tell my clients is either you're either you're learning something or you're doing something that helps you with your life and your business. That middle ground, that is a danger zone, especially if you have ADHD like myself. If you're not learning something or doing something, you're in the danger zone where you're just stewing over who knows what. And oftentimes, your daily thoughts are going to repeat over and over and over again. I can't remember the exact statistic, but it was something around 95% of the thoughts that you had yesterday, you're going to have again today. And I was just like, oh man, this is so accurate. I'm literally thinking about the same exact thing that I thought about yesterday. I thought about that business strategy that I wanted to do. I thought about who I wanted to call. I'm putting on my task list who I need to reach out to. I'm thinking about who I need to follow up with. And guess what? I still have to do those same exact things, and I haven't done it. That's when I recognize, like, either I'm learning how I can get that. Let's say the task is I need to follow up with James, for example, right? Just arbitrary name. I need to follow up with James. I thought about this Monday. Tuesday, I'm still thinking about that. So, in order for me to break that cycle, remember the strategy is learn or do. So, I need to learn how I can go ahead and get this task done. Do I need to delegate it, or do I just need to push through? Do I need to change my environment? I need to call James. I need to call this guy. This is money on the table. I need to make sure that I reach out to a potential lead. So learn how I can go ahead and get this task done, delegate, eliminate, or ignore. And we don't want to ignore it. So after I thought about what I'm going to do with it, now I need to do it. Don't stew over it. Remember that middle ground, danger zone. So the doing part is figuring out, okay, I've thought about what I need to do, so let me delegate. If I'm not going to delegate, then I'm going to put myself in an environment. Sometimes what I'll do is I I like to people watch, right? Okay, guilty. It's very entertaining. I'm just watching people. I'm very empathetic, and I love just trying to put myself in other people's shoes. So I'll people watch, and um, one of the ways that allowed me to do that is just being at a coffee shop or a library or something. And what that did for me, it allowed me to do a lot more because since I have ADHD, right? I don't want too much stimulation, but I do want to be in an environment or a setting that encourages productivity. I don't know if anyone else has felt like this. Does anyone else has anyone else uh, experienced this in any way, where um, you just you just want to be around other people that are doing something similar to you, or are in a space where they are being productive? And like my wife was sitting next to me today while I was working, and I, I was just getting stuff done. And there are proven, like there are tests, experiments around this where you would just log into a Zoom or log into um, a video chat where other people, someone else is there, and you just state your intention. You say, today I am working on my physics homework, or today I'm working on doing my cold calls. I have 10 to do, and it's taking me 10 months to work up the courage. You state your intentions, and then you go ahead and you just start doing it. And at the end of it, at the end of that session, maybe it's an hour, maybe it's 30 minutes, that's probably going to be your most productive hour or 30 minutes for that whole day, because you know someone is waiting, someone is right there. Not waiting, someone is just there. You just need someone there. And in my podcast, Finally Motivated, I speak with so many entrepreneurs, and one thing that's consistent is we're a lonely bunch. We're just a lonely bunch. We like we're around a bunch of people, but no one gets you. You don't feel like you can really share and just be yourself. And that's tough, because when you get lonely like that, your productivity drops because you start doubting yourself. You start feeling like, you know what, maybe when you start feeling like people don't get you, you continue to think that. Remember we talked about the things that you thought yesterday, you're going to think again today unless you have a pattern interruption. You gotta interrupt it, and you gotta do a cold turkey. So if you don't ever go for a if you don't ever get in a place where you can be like super productive and in your flow state? You know what I mean. Like, have you ever gotten to a place where you're in your flow state where you're just time just time just goes fast and you're like, where did it go? And I'm not talking about TV. You know, that's not what I'm talking about. That's for everybody. You start watching your favorite show or whatever, 1 hour turns into 10 hours. That's not what I'm talking about. I'm talking about when you're doing something. For me, it's coaching and it's music. Man, when I get in that space where I'm listening to something really just that just gets me in that space, I just I can't stop. You know? That 1 hour, the real big C. How's it going, man? Thanks for joining. We're just talking about entrepreneurs getting in a space where we can actually do the thing that we promised ourselves that we're going to do and why we even get stuck. And man, one of the things that what's up, what's going on, man? You ever felt like you got stuck as an entrepreneur, man? Let's talk about it. We identified so far that there is a danger zone for all of us where if we're not learning something and we're not doing something, we're BSing. That's the danger zone. If we're not learning something or doing something, we are wasting time with our business. It takes time, it takes clarity. You got to lock in and focus on your end game. I love that. You know what? A lot of people don't know what their end game is. You know, like I got so stuck with that for a long time where I was following other people's goals. They were saying, okay, I got to this amount of followers. I got 100,000 followers, or I'm making $5,000 a month with my real estate and this and that. So I just, I have the ADHD. So I started, what's going on, Kevin? So I started going to their blueprints and say, okay, let me follow that and do that goal. And then things change up or my focus changes. So I started doing something else. And it's so dangerous to follow other people's blueprints without knowing what knowing your end game. And I realized that as a human being with my own unique circumstance and story, I had to realize that my end game or my goals for life is completely different than this influencer that I'm following. Even if you get their blueprint, you have to do something yourself to make it fit you. This influencer, this course creator, does not have a son like mine or my wife or doesn't live where I live. Like all of that stuff is completely different. So it's not really not their fault. You buy the course. Real big C says, you know me and my events and curation. I get so stuck on what people on people not seeing my vision. Man, I get you. That can get real frustrating. That can get real frustrating. That goes back to how it's so lonely as an entrepreneur. Um, like drop the name of your business, by the way. I'd love to check you out, man. Um, but that can get so frustrating because my mentor, one of my mentors for commercial real estate, he was telling me that it's probably going to take about 2 years for you to start seeing a steady pipeline of business. I did not want to hear that. That was such a heartbreaking statement that he told me because guess what? I quit my job to do this. And now I'm applying financial pressure on this thing. And I have to also get to a place where the people that I'm serving and the people that I'm around can see the vision that I have. And that's so tough because first I have to convince myself that my vision matters. And sometimes we just start doing stuff and we don't even believe it. If you don't believe it, other people won't believe it. So, Big C, man, keep obsessing over the dream that you have. Keep obsessing over the vision that you have because no one's going to care about your vision as much as you do. And no one's going to care about your vision, period, if they feel like you're this close to giving up. So it's really about obsessing over something that even when no one shows up, you're still going to do, because there will be lots of times where people just do not show up. They're busy doing their own lives, and you just cannot take that personally. You can't take it personally. So so what I've noticed is you have to prove it to yourself and put things into action. Then they will see exactly, exactly. If first you have to take the action, because remember we said learn and do. If it's not one of those two things, you will get stuck and start thinking about the same thing tomorrow and the next day and the day after that and the day after that. So it's like you have to have faith that the thing that you're doing is going to work out. And what you're doing is you're waiting for the evidence to catch up to that vision that you have. And the only way for you to have evidence that you are this person and that this vision will come to fruition is if you start taking action. Every day, just think about it like this: every single day, if you prove to yourself that you are this successful person, then you are that successful person because you're doing the thing that that successful person does, and no one can take that away from you. If I want to be a successful business coach, what I need to do is coach. Now, the level that I do that I coach, the level that I take the action, that's on me, and that's based on my bandwidth and my availability, all of that stuff. But you just need to prove to yourself, I am this person. And then the next day, maybe that video that got 2 views, it's going to now give you the confidence the next day to walk up to a networking event and say, I am this business coach, or I am this event this event curator, and I run a whole bunch of successful events. Whatever it is, don't worry so much about the scale of it. Most of us scale way too fast anyway. A lot of us, we scale way too fast when we're not even ready for it. Like I don't want to go out and just start doing stuff and then my integrity is just at risk because I can't even fulfill all of the promises and the deliverables, you know? So we often look at the people online and think, I'm going to do that tomorrow. Because let's be honest, a lot of times they promise that. 3 days, 5 easy steps, boom, you could be like me. First of all, you can never be like them. You can never be like them. Their lives are completely different from yours. So let's get that out of our minds right now. You can never be exactly like the person that you aspire to be, but you can take inspiration and you can utilize the experience that they've had so that you can take action today so that you can create a story that is unique for you. Does that make sense? You just need to keep doing things. Just do stuff. Just do stuff. Just make sure that it aligns with who you are, what you stand for, your strengths, and the opportunities that are right in front of you. That's all you could do. But prove to yourself, did I take action towards the direction that I want to go in today? And if the answer is no, remember, learn and do. Learn how you can change your trajectory. Learn how you can do a different type of work tomorrow so that you can start doing the things that you want to do. Let me know if that makes sense or if I'm just saying some nonsense. Like I've been an entrepreneur since probably middle school. And I remember it it did feel a lot easier. It did feel a lot easier when you don't have to worry about any bills, for sure. We had my brother and I. We had to sell candy for like a school trip that we were raising. I was going to say high school. Yeah, yeah, back in yeah, I did that too. I did it at Abraham Clark High School as well, man. It was those were the days. But even back in middle school, we were selling candy. We sold the candy from um, that the school gave us. We finished that up, and then we decided, you know what? We got this store that's selling these candies $3 for $1. We made three times the profit because we sold each one for $1. And I remember thinking, all right, we have a goal. We want to go ahead and um, raise money for this field trip. But why did we continue it? It wasn't because of that static goal. It was because we loved just we wanted to prove that we could do it. That's what it was. We just wanted to prove that we can do it. So then we just kept doing it over and over and over again. We started making some money with it. That ended up growing into that ended up becoming useful later on when I got in high school. Still that entrepreneurial mindset. And the reason why I say that is because earlier I said you just got to do stuff. You just got to do stuff that feels right and aligns and that there's a demand for. Just do it. Don't think too much about it because that's going to add more confidence to you for the next opportunity that you have. Nothing needs to be wasted. Whatever you've done in your life already, think about how you can use that for right now. All right, man. Oh, I'll talk to you another time, man. Thanks for jumping on. Um, yeah, whatever it is that that you've done in your past, it does not have to be wasted. I'm still doing things that like because I've been a web developer, I'm utilizing that knowledge to help create funnels for my clients. That's amazing, right? Like nothing needs to be wasted. Anything that's happened in your life, it does not need to be wasted. You could utilize it for the venture that you're focusing on right now. Humble Hustle is going on. Jasper, hey, hey, what's up, Cheryl? Um, it's been a while. I hope everybody's good. But yeah, nothing in your life needs to be wasted. You are so unique that there's often so many different things that you may feel is not worthy of utilizing because it doesn't fit the blueprint that we're seeing online from our favorite influencers. And I want to remind you that your favorite influencers can never be you. Just like you can never be them, they can never be you. And there's so many different experiences that have occurred in your life that you may not be utilizing. There's strengths, there's certain opportunities, there's people that you could call that they can't call. And it really takes you t- sitting down and or taking a nice long walk and thinking about what makes what are my what are the things that gives me an advantage. I'm still using my skills for graphic design, videography. I'm using my consulting knowledge that I've used. Like whatever it is that you've done, just think about it. You do that as homework. Just think about what are some things that I've done in my past. What kind of jobs have I done? What kind of jobs have I done? What kind of like uh, random odd things that it seems odd to me, but it added a layer to your unique story. Yeah, it's been years, man. I hope you're doing well, man. What's going on with you? We're talking about getting unstuck and just doing stuff so that we can make progress, so that we can believe that we can do the thing that we say that we're going to do. I deal with a lot of clients who they say that they need motivation, right? And what they really need is to be clear on what they want and who they are. Because depending on who you think you are, that's going to determine what you can do. If you think that you are a big shot real estate developer, guess what? You're going to prove it to yourself by doing things that a big shot real estate developer would do. You're going to actually just pick up the phone and make a call and see, hey, that empty lot down the street is empty, and I'm wondering if you'd be willing to sell it because I want to create a self storage facility. That's something that I want to do as well. But so if you have a self storage facility that's for sale, let me know. Uh, I'd love to talk to you. But anyway, um, it's like if you do that, if you take that action, now no one can tell you that you're not a real estate developer. You just at the moment do not have a real estate development project, but you're taking the action. As long as you're taking the action, you're showing yourself evidence of your faith and of evidence of your identity. That's all it is. Because if you talk to somebody that is a successful real estate developer, and at that moment in time, they've just sold off their investments and they've yet to repurchase, so at the moment, they don't have any assets. Are you going to say that they're not a real estate developer if they're currently in the process of getting more? No, no one can take that identity away from you as long as you're currently taking action on it. So, where we get stuck at is the scale. We often think that we have to be at such a high level in order for us to believe that we are who we think that we are. We are who we want to be. You just have to take the action that will help you solidify, cement yourself in the identity that you want. So I just want to leave you all with Cheryl. I'm glad you're doing well. That's awesome. We got to catch up for sure. Um, I just want to leave you all with the idea that the thoughts that you think today, you're most likely 95% sure that you're going to think those thoughts tomorrow. And I'd like to leave you with a pattern interrupt. If those are thoughts that are going to lead you towards a direction that you want to go in, figure out how you can take action on those thoughts. If you've been procrastinating on calling somebody that is going to make a big difference, if you've been procrastinating on hiring somebody that you know is going to get you unstuck, if you know that you have this idea that you definitely don't want to die with, make the decision. Don't die with that idea. Do something. Do something small, something so small that you can't lose. All right? And then let's talk about it. I do these calls every Monday morning, Monday motivation, as well as Wednesdays, um, midweek motivation. Thank you so much, everyone, for joining. I appreciate you all. Make sure you join the free community, themotivatelentrepreneurs.com. I'd love to see you there. We provide so much resources and just community, entrepreneurs that understand, get you, so we can support each other. All right. Have a good night, everyone. Okay.